This week in Apple news, we've heard Siri's listening to us, Apple buying a 5G stuff from Intel, and T-Mobile Sprint merger. I'm Skylar. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's get started. So, a few months ago, we heard Amazon employees were listening to Echo recordings. Then, we heard that Google employees were listening to Google employees. And I thought, well, as an iPhone user, I'll be alright, because what happens on my iPhone stays on my iPhone. Unless, of course, it's Siri recordings, then it gets sent to Apple where people listen to it. So just like the other company, Apple has people listening to Siri interactions, Siri conversations. Anything that you say, hey, Siri, it will listen to that, it will hear it, record it. All of them are sent to Apple, and a few seconds of less than 1% are listened to by people. Then these interactions are graded. But, yes, although I hope they wouldn't, there are people listening to Apple's Siri conversations. Oh well. In better news, Intel just sold their smartphone modem business to Apple for $1 billion. That is awesome for Apple, because not only does this give them access to Intel's 5G projects, but also just their normal modem projects, which is great, because after having problems with Qualcomm, it's really good for Apple to have now this ability to develop in-house modems, including for 5G, and Apple gets approximately 2,200 Intel employees to work for them. So that's looking good for Apple there. And let's look at what their roadmap is here with 5G. 2019, no 5G. 2020, we'll have Qualcomm 5G chips. 2021, some things will be Qualcomm, some things will be Apple's own chips. And then by 2022, everything will have Apple in-house chips, probably developed using these Intel resources they're just buying right now. The Apple Card will probably come in mid-August, so next month we're looking at, and it will work with iOS 12.4 and presumably iOS 13 when that comes out in September. The 2020 Apple Watch, which I don't have a picture for. 2020 Apple Watch. I'm wearing an Apple Watch right now. That either probably Series 6, but maybe Series 5, who knows, will have micro LED. So, right now, watch has OLED, which looks nice, but micro LED is more power efficient and less susceptible to burn-in. That's great. T-Mobile Sprint merger. We've been hearing about this forever. T-Mobile buying Sprint to create the new T-Mobile. Well, it's finally looking like it's going to happen after receiving approval from the U.S. Justice Department. Now, if they are to merge, they will have to sell off Virgin Mobile, Boost Mobile, and Sprint Prepaid off to Dish, which will form its own network of cell using T-Mobile stores and cell towers for the next 7 years as they build up their infrastructure. That will mean the major four carriers are Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Dish. So that'll be an interesting thing to have, Sprint being, I guess, absorbed by T-Mobile, which shouldn't affect you very much. If you're a T-Mobile customer, I'm guessing really no effect. Sprint, you might see something, but not for a few years. Now, if you have Boost Mobile, Virgin Mobile, or Sprint Prepaid, you will become a Dish customer, which for a while will be similar, but you may start to see slight changes. But we're still far off from changes, so I wouldn't worry too much yet. Now, this one is interesting, mostly for me, but some other people might find it interesting. Apple is going to fund exclusive podcasts for Apple Podcasts. So that's really pretty cool to see that they're doing that, because they've invested in TV and a lot of other things. I think some Apple Podcasts will be really cool. I'm Skylar. Thanks for watching. Bye. Conversations are sent to Apple. Why would you do that? I was recording.